And we have it. Leigh Waters on the left and Riley Newman on the right. Love that combo.
Speaking of combos, there's a great one from Riley Newman, part of the number 2/1, if you ask him,
Right.
probably, men's doubles teams on the PPA Tour. And actually, the winner of the Bub League Team Championships alongside tennis pro Sam Query and the rest of that team.
Second serve.
Actually took down John Isner's team in the championships that had Ben Johns on that team. So a little bit of a rematch for those two facing off against one another. Inside out for Leigh Waters, #1 women's player in the world.
Point.
Just 15 years old. She turned pro when she was 12, the youngest player to ever do so.
Side out.
Yeah, she's got a baby face, but her game is anything but childlike. She is a dynamite, a dynamo out there. Unbelievable player.
8 triple crowns this year alone on the PPA Tour. There's that infamous backhand. If you're wondering what a triple crown is, let them know, Cam.
Triple crown is when you win all 3 events. So she wins her singles, she wins mixed doubles with her partner Ben Johns, who's now on the opposite side of the court, and women's doubles, usually alongside her mom Leigh Waters. Recently just got injured, so she is alongside Catherine Parento to finish out the year.
There's that defense from Newman. He gets another back. Slap shot. Tries to cover Riley Newman, originally out of Washington, Whidbey Island. Just a few short miles away from the origin of pickleball in Bainbridge. Official sport now of Washington.
Side out. 0-1-1.
Jessie Irvine, originally out of North Carolina, plays that right side along Ben Johns. She is the queen of consistency and the queen of dinks.
Point.
Setting up her partner beautifully.
Yeah, that ball getting up a little bit high. Ben Johns plenty of time
1-1-1.
to use that signature backhand counter.
Second serve. 1-1-2.
So if this is the first time you're ever watching pickleball, we talked about the double side out scoring. Both you and your partner have to lose serve in order for the ball to go to the other side. You can only score points on your serve for your team. So that's why you're hearing those scores, the 1-1, and that third number is whether it's first serve or second serve.
Point.
If you win the point, you also switch sides with your partner, like Riley Newman and Leigh just did. Tricky finger point. Why
That
not?
was dirty. Looking like he was going through the middle. Oh, nope. Not so fast, Ben Johns.
Slider from Riley Newman. Hey, you mentioned it, Cameron Blackwood, right on that scouting report.
Yeah, and she just wanted to follow in Riley Newman's footsteps there. Like, hey, you know what? I can go ahead and take that up. But she set it up perfectly.
Second serve.
What that did was jamming him up really opened up the middle for that next ball.
4-1-2.
There's the stack from Ben Johns and Jessie Irvine.
Point.
They're really finding those middle balls on the side of Irvine and Johns, and it's because they don't play together really ever outside of this. So that's going to be something that they're going to have to tighten up quickly if they don't want to go down.
Yeah, they've done a good job of holding these outside things, throwing up the line, pulls people wide, and then bang through the middle.
5-1, a quick start for Waters and Newman, challenging the other side of Irvine and Johns. We'll have more after this. And welcome back. Ben Johns now serving from the right side, trailing by 4 with his partner, Jessie Irvine. This is the 2022 bubbly team championships and exhibition with 4 of the top pros on tour.
Second serve.
Yeah, forcing Ben from such small margins there. Annalie looking for the Ernie. No space to go there. Then Riley covering the middle.
You can just hear the quickness off the paddle of both Johns as well as Waters. Unreal. You can see that Jessie looks like she's trying to attack the feet of Annalie Waters right here.
35-2.
And that's the right play. When you are going to have those, she has such long arms. She's taken a lot of balls out of the air in the kitchen, taking time away. And when she can finish it right at the feet is the right call.
Even some of those dinks go in that direction.
Yeah, that last dink from Jessie Irvine sat up a little bit, a little passive, allows Annalie to really pick her target on Ben Johns.
Point.
Oh, nearly whiffing there.
Six, 3-1.
There's the angle of Ben Johns. No one does it quite like him.
6-3-2.
That is absurd. We'll see it here in a replay. Seen that all day from Ben Johns.
Good hands. And whoever was in the crowd right there snatched that one.
Side out.
Timing, such an important piece of countering.
It is, and as you saw there, we call it the slide in pickleball. So when you see that ball and it's sped up, you choose then, are you going to slide to your right or your left if you want a forehand or a backhand? You saw Annalie Waters there slide out to her left, just miss that forehand.
What a dink. Trying to cover back down the line off the Ernie of Newman.
4-6-1.
So impressed with Annalie Waters here, putting so much on these dinks. At that point, Ben thought he had it behind her, and she comes up with a better dink. Great hands there from Ben.
Second serve.
That's great placement there when you're in that transition zone, as Irvine was,
4-6-2.
meaning that middle zone from the baseline and the kitchen line. Any ball there is going to be hard to get back, especially an unattackable ball.
Side out.
And again, she got caught in that transition zone. Needed to either put a little bit more on it and then work her way in, or go ahead and be aggressive and have those hands ready for a counter.
Point.
Like that from Annalie Waters. That's exactly what Jessie Irvine, I would have liked to have seen her do.
7-4-1.
She's going right at her partner. Lefty off Newman. What a save! Somehow that manages to go over the net. Oh, and Annalie pulls the trigger. She thought they were off balance, but nice recovery there from Ben
That
Johns.
is just a sick display from
7-4-2.
offense to defense, back to offense. So hard to change up paces.
Side out.
Nice backhand flick above his head.
And that's what's hard. If you're going to go ahead and take that, then you have to be fully
4-7-1.
committed. And he knew that that ball wasn't as sharp as it would have liked to have been. Went ahead and saw that ball go right behind him.
You can hear from the sounds of Jessie Irvine. She was on that one.
Point.
Really good driving crash there from Ben Johns.
5-7-2.
Finding Annalie just jammed there.
Side out.
is what we call a momentum killer.
The first shot, or the prior point, was set up because of Ben John's heavy, aggressive serve. So I like that from him. He just can't go for too much here and give the ball back.
Nice defense. He handcuffs Jessie Irvine up the line.
Yeah, that's not something Ben's used to, playing with a partner that doesn't have quite as good hands as Leigh Waters, the top of the game. He's used to speeding that up and having someone finish for him.
Second serve.
Jessie Irvine comes from quite a tennis background. She's been working to go professionally at a young age. She started attending some prestigious tennis academies all the way back when she was 13 years old.
Side out.
Leigh Waters also coming from a tennis background.
5-8-1.
Started playing pickleball when visiting Grandma and Grandpa. Well, their home was in a little bit of trouble as a hurricane came their direction in Florida. Ever since then, she's pretty much been the best player in the world.
5-8-2.
And I get to see it on the other side of the court.
Point.
That was incredibly powerful from Jessie Irvine there. And what she did so well, yes, she was backed off the line, but like you said,
6-8-2.
her hips and her shoulders were square up. So she was ready for those counters and finished it perfectly.
Well, and the challenge, too, of going two-hand backhand counter, and then she actually punch volleyed one hand on that second one. The ability to, those are two different shots and two different skill sets, and kind of challenging that grip.
Especially having the mindset to differentiate which one you want to hit at the exact right time. That's why she's one of the best in the world.
Oh, the dinner! The dink winner from Leigh Waters.
This looks easy at home, but I swear it takes so much skill to get your body controlled, get that paddle underneath the ball. Great little roll behind Ben Johns there. He doesn't look stupid often, but that was one time he did.
Point.
And you got to remember, it's also really hard because we talked about it in the game of pickleball and mixed doubles.
9-7-2.
It's all about percentages, right? You're trying to get somebody uncomfortable on the other side. You see those fellas really start to come in more aggressively.
Point.
And so you're leaving room on the backside of Ben Johns. So at times you're going to see winners go that direction, trying to keep him honest. But ultimately, the percentages typically still go in his favor, having him be aggressive like there on that forehand side.
100%. When he takes over the middle.
That ball is long, and there is game one. Waters and Newman, 11-7. Just incredible defense in that last rally. Waters and Newman up by 1. Johns and Irvine got out to an early start here in game number 2, but Newman and Waters are fighting their way back, now trailing by just 2 points and having picked up game number 1. Welcome back to the 2022 Bubbly Team Championships on the PPA Tour, presented by MGM Rewards.
Second serve.
Back out of the timeout, Riley Newman with some force.
5-3-2.
Wow. I don't even know what do you call that paddle position?
It's called uh-oh. I don't know what to do with it, and I'm going to the left hand.
The crossbody attack, one of the newer developments in the last year in the game of pickleball. A lot of times you'll see that backhand set up on the right side. That cross-court, crossbody is tough. There's not a whole lot of room to do it, though.
No, and I think Leigh Waters is, I think, one of the best at that cross-court speed-ups. Like you said, we don't see it a lot. It has been in the nuances of involving this game. Usually you'll speed up straight ahead. Not so much anymore. You can really catch someone at their hip. And as they really jammed him in that middle body on the forehand side.
4-6-1. Second serve.
And the reason Ben Johns is able to finish that so quickly, if you watched, he didn't let the paddle come all the way across his body. He flicks it with the wrist, keeps it out in front, ready for that next attacking ball, ready to counter any ball and finish it wherever he wants, in complete control.
Packedness of swing, so important. And it's interesting, you talk about reaction time. I actually did a little bit of math. I mean, some of what you might see in terms of reaction time for a professional baseball player from pitch to actual bat contact is less than 0.4 of a second. In pickleball, guess what? It's less than 0.4 of a second from 14 feet away, kitchen line to kitchen line, with how fast that ball is moving.
Wow, that was incredible. For those of you that don't know, you may have heard of an Ernie, which is when you go ahead and cross over that kitchen line. He did a Burt, meaning you jump in front of your partner and hit the winning shot. Incredible work by Ben Johns.
It's actually the second one we've seen from him in this match.
Not only the athleticism, but the anticipation to know that's where the ball is going to go. Time it perfectly. Very impressive stuff there from the GOAT, Ben Johns.
There's a cross-court backhand flick. Cross-body, the opposite direction.
It's very effective. Like we said, there's new shots that are just continue to evolve in the game of pickleball. Another one is a lob. We used to not see it. Now it's transitioned over to pickleball. You're taking lobs out of the kitchen, off the bounce, on a third shot. Usually we would never see that. Now there's third shot lobs in pickleball. It is changing. You have to stay up to date with the fastest growing sport in America. I just love it so much.
Well, and that's what makes it so fun. And Ben Johns has talked about it himself. The fact that this is a game that he can experiment with and continue to kind of change and evolve, test new things. He started even at times working with a two-handed backhand speed up off the bounce, off the line. Testing some different things out in his own game.
And a huge evolution in the game right now is the paddle technology. This new carbon fiber face on these paddles, allowing a little more grit compared to, you know, your polyester strings in tennis, allowing the balls to go up and down faster, getting more RPMs, and then combine it with the athletes in this game. We're just getting a different and more athletic brand of pickleball.
Point.
Athletic, no doubt. Annalie Waters right there winning the exchange, 5-7.
5-7-1.
Finishing that off with authority. Finding the right shoulder there, the chicken wing to Annalie, and popping that up.
Yeah, right. Isn't in those hands to feet battles, it's typically two to the same side. That third one always ends up on the opposing side.
6-7-2.
And that's when you have the slide involved if there's time for it, meaning that when the ball's coming and you know it's going to be coming back, you got to choose. Am I going to sit forehand or am I going to sit backhand? And you slide accordingly to where you can hit that winning shot.
Receivers, 7-7-2.
Just like that, the comeback has been mounted by Waters and Newman. It is now 7-7-2. Let's see if they can finish it off in 2 games. A fantastic battle is upon us. 7 apiece here in game number 2. Waters, Newman, Irvine, and Johns on NBC. We're so glad to have you with us. Let's see if Waters and Newman can close it out. Sliding in front is Ben Johns.
Really impressive there from Irvine. Kept him in that point. Riley was all over the net there, getting down at their feet. Jessie able to get one more ball back.
Speaking getting one more ball back. Ben Johns right now doing a nice job of it.
Second serve.
And as you saw right there, they just weren't able to get up. They got stuck in that transition zone. Newman placed it perfectly right at their feet. You're going to win that ball every single time.
Good lead from Riley Newman. What a play. A little bit of everything in that one. And a solid hold. Waters and Newman get the ball back now. And that side out scoring. Deep serve, or deep return from Johns.
Second serve. 7-7-2. Point.
Rare miss there by
Yep.
Jessie Irvine. She's not going to miss that one again. She just came through and swung straight down to the ground versus out in front of her.
Point.
Yeah, I think they're on the switch when Jessie's having to come over after a stack. She didn't get close enough to that kitchen line.
9-7-2.
She's about 5 feet behind trying to hit an offensive shot. Just need her to get in a little bit faster there.
What defense from Annalie Waters. And Annalie nearly got it after it skipped under the toes of Riley Newman. So ball back the way of Irvine and Johns after 2 have been earned from Waters and Newman. Tough ball, nice job off the net for Irvine. Sliding backhand, Ben Johns closing out.
Something different that you're seeing right here with Johns is he's not sucking over as much on the side with Irvine because he respects Annalie Waters' game so much. He knows exactly what she's capable of. So yes, you will see him then staying in the middle, but also making sure that his line on the left side is covered every single time.
Yeah, sorry.
That's a great point.
8-9-2.
The minor adjustments you have to make not only with who your partner is, but who's on the opposing side of the court. Understanding the scouting report. Annalie liked her shot. She's in complete disbelief. 9-9 now. Still second serve for Irvine and Johns. Wow! Jessie Irvine right at the right time.
We've seen that before from Jessie Irvine.
10-9-2.
Riley Newman closing and holding the middle. Jessie seeing that line, ripping it.
She screamed before it even hit the other side of the court. She had so much confidence with that shot, and that's exactly what she needs. She needs to continue to have that confidence playing on this side because they have to take this game if they want to take it into a third.
100%. She needs to keep being offensive. If Ben's going to take chances, yes, she has to play her role in being solid, but she has to take those chances like she did there. You have to win points. You can't just have the other team lose them.
Yeah, I gotta love that aggressive play from Jessie Irvine. Glad she found her way on over to pickleball from the tennis world.
Time in. 10-9-2.
It's game point, Irvine and Johns.
Point game.
Look for the speed up the middle, but John says no good. Which means we're going to 3. One game will let us know who our victor will be.
You see Newman now on the left side again. Trying to get a little bit different look. They don't want to have Annalie abused on the left side like she has been the last few points.
Nice scoop from Annalie. ATP defended, and we're back into the point. Oh, we almost had one on each side.
And she will not miss those often. She really does wait for that ball to get super low outside of the court and finish it just a little too tight on that one.
Annalie back on the left. And a dink missed out of bounds. Annalise says, I'm still good over here on the left.
2-4-1.
2-4. Still first serve. And another Leigh says she's had enough. 3 straight now.
Yeah, normally when Ben creeps over to the middle, the only shot you have to look out for is a slow ball over to your left. She got so much action on that. Unbelievable shot.
And there's the angle. Still just the second serve for Newman and Waters.
3-4-2.
It almost looks like they're playing straight up. Just kind of depending on what side of the court they are on in terms of their serve.
There was the slide from Jessie Irvine, as Cam talked about earlier, having space for herself.
And the big backhand of the 15-year-old phenom. There's a reason she's got 8 Triple Crowns this year. Right at the knee. You know what I'd be curious to see is some tennis footage of Riley Newman playing. He played collegiate tennis and basketball at Seattle University. Curious if he played with the same grip.
I would love to see that as well.
It's
I just
interesting,
don't
though,
know
isn't
if
it?
you could with a racket and strings, but you never know.
I don't think it's going to be as pretty as this pickleball game. I kind of just want to see him dominate on the pickleball court. But if there's some old footage, release it, put it on your Instagram,
I'd
Riley.
love to see a tennis pancake backhand.
It's really odd, isn't it? Like, to have switched so many of the tennis players that come into the pickleball. As there's a nice shot from Jessie Irvine. They still play with their traditional grip, right? Maybe there's some adjustments that you make, right, in terms of comfort level?
I don't.
Okay.
I completely changed my grip from my forehand in tennis to pickleball. But again, it's preference. It's whatever's most comfortable for you. And as the sport evolves, I think you can evolve with it, change the grip according to how the game is being played. And you've seen these players, I think they may be playing this style now. Give it 6 months, give it a year. This might be a completely different game, and I'm just so excited that we're a part of it right at the forefront.
Well, and to the point, Ben Johns has talked about he uses a handful of different grips when he's playing. From being at the baseline, up at the kitchen line, it consistently varies depending on what shot he's trying to go with.
Side out.
Yeah, I think, you know, a couple of years ago, people were talking about continental grip. It was good for everything. We switched over now to kind of an Eastern forehand grip. Allows you to do a lot more with the ball, keep everything in front, get more spin. But yes, these players are making tiny adjustments all the time, depending on the shot.
Here's a yes from Riley Newman.
And he set it up perfectly. He really pushed Ben Johns out wide with that nice heavy roll, slid into the middle and found that opening.
We still play 2-11, win by 2 here in game 3.
4-5-2. Point.
That thing was diving at the kneecaps.
I think Jessie thought that ball was going in the net. Might have clipped the net a little bit on the way over.
High on the left shoulder. Is that ball staying in?
We'll never know. No, but I think she had a great look at that. She's not going to miss that too often. I think it came a little higher than she expected. Swing got a little big.
Second serve.
As you saw, they're just getting jammed. They're just not used to playing together.
5-5-2.
Probably should have been Johns' ball and had Irvine slide over to the right a little bit, but hopefully they make that adjustment.
Yeah, to your point, she almost shifted left and still was working with that forehand volley.
5-5-1. Second serve.
Newman, one of the most expressive in terms of willpower, trying to get the ball over the net.
Side out.
I think Leigh got a bad bounce there. Ball didn't go exactly where she thought it might.
Point. Timeout. 6-5-1. Switch ends.
6-5 now. Take a look at this great shot. Jessie Irvine.
Yeah, Riley Newman not wanting to go to Ben Johns there. Leaves it up a little high, dinking down the line. That's why we normally don't dink down line in pickleball. Net's higher on that side. 36 inches on the side, 34 in the middle, and you have less space to really attack and get your partner involved.
Credit to the side of Irvine and Johns, though. I think they've really kept that intensity from game 2 moving into game 3. And yes, they've had some miscommunication in the middle. That's expected. But I think the style of pickleball they're playing with the aggressive, not only movement, but power and placement. Looking to see on the other side how Newman and Waters can really counter that. Get back the momentum on their side. Pickleball is really a game of momentum and runs. You'll see that a lot in pickleball. You'll have a team that just makes a run of 4 points, 5 points, 6 points. It's really slowing down the momentum, getting the ball back, getting a reset, back into the game.
6-5-1.
A game of momentum, as Cameron puts it. Let's see who can find the momentum here to close out game 3. And that's a good way to start coming back out of the timeout.
6-5-2.
Here's a look at the kitchen on both sides of the net. How fast these hands have to go.
Side out. Five, 6-1.
From the net, and that's actually, if you remember back, the last shot she had in game number 2. She's trying to speed up towards the middle there, towards that backhand side of Jessie Irvine, and close out with her backhand. And to your point, there's the noise from Jessie Irvine.
And that is perfectly planned mixed double point right there. You see Johns took the majority of the court and balls. However, when it came time for the put away, Irvine executed it incredibly well, went right behind Newman down the line.
Steady dinking from Leigh. Until the two-hand speed up the line. Talk about the variation of shots. I don't think we've seen this yet.
The inside-in backhand over the high part of the net. Not the highest percentage shot, and not one that Ben would guard. So when she hits it, he's not expecting it at all.
Point.
And she's been going cross-court with her speed-ups most of this match. So for her to sit back, hold it, like you said, hit that inside-in, it was a great change-up. And she didn't go for a lot. She just made sure her wrists were down, got a lot of spin, make sure it kept in.
Irvine works her way in. You saw her about 3 feet off the kitchen line. Very comfortable sitting back that direction until the close.
Leigh not happy with that ball. That dink just got away from her. Left it up a little bit too high. Easy put away for Jessie Irvine.
That's the one Lee's been looking for.
5-8-1.
You got to make a move now if you're Waters and Newman. Great return, though. Plenty of depth on that ball.
Second serve.
There's a time where I like that Jessie Irvine moved off the kitchen line, gave her plenty of time if Leigh were to speed it up, which she did there. Really smart to move off that line.
The drop shot, and Newman is quick. Oh, and just wide, but you have to love the effort. Look at that hustle. That was a great shot from Ben Johns right there on the forehand side of Leigh Waters. 9-5 now. Things looking awfully bright for Irvine and Johns. There's the cross-court speed up. That time finally finding the backhand side.
9-5-2.
Jessie just sat right in that posture.
And unfortunately, those resets just kept getting higher and higher and higher. And it's one of those that you just really have to soften those hands, let it drop in the kitchen, or swing away and be aggressive and move right up.
Again, the backhand slap. Ooh, that's some power off the paddle of Jessie Irvine.
Jessie even doing a better job with the one hand this game than the two. That's a new technique that she's been working on with Coach Scott Crandall. Train a lot out in Arcadia.
To your point, there's two more from her. It's working. Here's a nice glimpse. 9-5. 9-5. Again, looking for that cross-court speed up. Just hasn't quite gone her way in these last two games.
It really hasn't, and it's match point now, but I'd like her to make that adjustment quicker. If it's not working, let's switch it up.
Still looking for match ball. Leigh finishes the epic rally back and forth. The scoop by Newman in the middle of that was fantastic. Still a match point.
Side out.
So tough when it pops up off the net right there. And a much needed side out for Waters and Newman.
She's laughing. I think she should have gone to the two hands there. She knew it. We have not seen that in a while. A backhand speed up, or excuse me, a speed up to the backhand side of Ben Johns. And again, the switch from Newman and Waters.
Point.
Just wide. You hear the frustration from Jessie Irvine.
But she is playing lights out right now. I don't want her to change anything about her game. Maybe pick her spots maybe just a little bit better, but everything else is working for her.
Wow.
So much junk. We call it junk on that ball because the spin, it can double up after a few of those contacts.
7-10-2.
Still second serve now. So they earn two back. They're going to have
stop the bleeding, so to speak. That's all they cared about, getting that ball back.
match ball again for Irvine and Johns. their third. And they're going to have a fourth look at a match point. Second serve.
10-7-2.
Miscommunication, and that's the game. Oh, that's a hard way to finish if you're Waters and Newman, but a massive congratulations to those two. They dropped game number 1, but then found games 2